run, 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 run. Hey, 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 hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the ACS Universe. I'm, of course, ACS, joined once again by James Mitchell. It's been a while since we did anything together.
Too long.
Yep. So this is the last video of 2017, basically, because I know it's New Year's Eve. There's not gonna be time for another one. And what better way to do this? I've been wanting to do this for a while. This was a goal of mine when I made my very first video earlier this year, was to do a best movies of the year list. And you've been doing them for years on your social media, putting them on there. So this is my first time doing it. Pretty much a trial run, so we didn't go top 10 apiece. We're going to go top 5 apiece with a few honorable mentions to throw in there to show some ones that almost made it but didn't. Disclaimer, we have not seen every movie that came out this year. Far from, I know you saw Blade Runner. I know my viewers are going to be like, what the hell? But I didn't see Blade Runner 2049, Shape of Water, The Post. There's a bunch of them that we didn't get to see. I mean, busy lives. So, but within the last 2 weeks, we've been like jam-packing movies in, just watching and watching and watching, rewatching some, just to make sure that the list was going to be just perfect. There's going to be spoilers in this. We just want to let y'all know. So, I mean, you don't know yet what movies are going to be on here. So, there's going to be some spoilers. When we talk about movies, we're going to talk about certain scenes in movies. And if you hadn't seen them, I'm sorry. But there will be in the description down there that this is like a spoiler best movies list. We don't know what's on each other's list. We didn't tell each other. We have an idea, but as far as the seeding goes, where the movies go, we don't know. So it's going to be like pretty much a surprise for both of us.
Even if we did know, I mean, I know my list has changed. Only way up here it changed.
Yeah, I did flip-flop like on my way back from the gym because I thought about a scene from a movie and I was like, you know what? Because for me, these movies, you know, like, first of all, if I don't see it on opening weekend, most likely I won't see it till it's either on digital or it's on Blu-ray. That's just the way I am. I like going opening weekend. And number two, the movies on my list, they have to impact me in a certain way. And if the way they impact me is the way that they're seated on here, that's why some movies I've seen this year won't be on there, just because I felt that another movie hit me better than that movie did. Yeah,
that's exactly why some of my movies flip-flop. I started thinking, I was like, ooh, I like that movie, but it didn't impact me.
Yeah, and the thing, today when I flip-flopped, which was the number 6 and number 5 flip-flop, I thought about one moment in the movie, and I'll talk about it later, I said, you know what, nah, as amazing as number 5 was, I'm going to have to turn it around. So, got all that out the way. Without further ado, we're going to start, and got my list right here. You know I got to have one. The way we're going to do this is, we both have 3 honorable mentions apiece. We'll do those 3, and then I'll do my number 5, he'll do his number 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, and on down to number 1. So I'm going to start right now with my 3 honorable mentions, and, you know, we're just going to speak real quick about them. Not as much details will go in it once we get to the top 5. And the way this would be is if we were doing 10, these movies would be 8, 7, and 6, yeah. So I'm going to start off. My first honorable mention is Thor Ragnarok. It was an amazing movie, funny. Taika Waititi did a perfect job. Thor, everything about the movie was good. And I liked it. I found myself like laughing in the movie theater at some of the stuff. I thought it was going to be a big laugh fest, but it turned out to be more than that. Just wasn't top 5 material for me. My next one, this is where it got really, really difficult for me, because Split is my next one. And, oh man, I hope James McAvoy gets that Oscar now. I doubt it though, because he didn't get any Golden Globe stuff. But yeah. Split was M. Night at his best. Really looking forward to Glass when it comes out. And it looks like he's back to form, so hopefully he stays that way. All right, now this is the last honorable mention. This is where the flip flop happened. This is where the flip. I'm not going to tell you what movie was in this spot, but Christopher Nolan's masterpiece Dunkirk, man. And it was so hard for me because, you know, I watched it recently, as you watched it recently, and I was like, like you said, next level. But I was like, man, I was watching it, and the thing is, great acting. Young actors, I think that those main actors, all of them are like 24 and younger. Movie had like 20% dialogue, so they had to do they had to tell the story with their emotions and all of those things. And It was there, man. And but, you know, my favorite scene is that boat where the boat's on the beach and they're waiting for the tide to come in. It was almost there, but I flip-flopped it out of there when I thought about one moment from my number 5 movie. But hey, there you go. Honorable mentions: Thor Ragnarok, Split, and Dunkirk. Go ahead, man.
All right. Our lists are completely different already. My first honorable mention is Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Oh, yeah.
I laughed the entire movie, and that alone, it was between that one and Thor Ragnarok. One of them was going to make it.
The other one wasn't?
The other one wasn't.
Yeah.
And Guardians, I mean, you just can't deny those laughs.
Yeah, it was. If we had went 10, I'm sure that would have made it in there.
Yeah, it's just one of my favorite franchises in the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
Number 7, or unofficially, my next honorable mention is Blade Runner 2049. That one,
see it, man.
That one was actually in my top 5 as of yesterday.
Ooh.
But then, like you said, I started thinking about like impact.
Yeah.
And the movies in my top 5 impacted me more than that movie.
Yeah.
Even though it is a perfect sequel, I know some people didn't like it. They weren't super happy about the score. It wasn't close enough to the original. But that was it flowed perfectly right out of the original and kind of bucked that trend of like,
I gotta see it, man.
Sequels that don't work. And my last honorable mention, just watched it last night, was Mother.
Whew. And
it makes you uncomfortable. It makes you question things. It makes you, like, the whole time you're watching, you're like, what? What is going on? But I love the allegory. Darren Aronofsky is, you know, one of the best directors in the world. But it just didn't quite make my top.
Yeah. And you know, that's one, I didn't watch that this year neither. I probably never will watch it.
Yeah,
my wife watched it last week and told me, described some scenes to me, and I was like, I'm glad my eyes were not in front of that television.
Yeah, my wife stopped halfway through and said, nope.
Oh, shoot. So there you go. Honorable mentions, 3 different ones. They were so close, man. It's hard when you get to like 6 and you're trying to interchange them out and put, you know, let everybody know what your favorite movies were for the year. But
you're telling me, like I said, I do this every year. I've been doing this for a long time. And I've had people like, hey, man, when's your list coming out? When's your list coming out? I'm like, I've got to narrow this down to 5? I'm used to doing a 10. There have been years that I've done a top 20 when there's so many good movies. Then there's some years that there's so many trash movies that I'm like struggling to do a top 10. Yeah. This was not one of those years.
No, good year of movies. Good year of movies. Yeah, good year movies, and as social media still excels, gets bigger and bigger. You know, this is one of those years of movies too. Where I thought about it, man. Like, it's hard to have your own opinion. If you tweet out, oh man, I think such and such was such a good movie, somebody's just gonna crash you for it. I mean, you know what I mean. So hopefully that stuff can stop. I doubt it's going to anytime soon. But all right, here we go. Got to the top 5, man. Top 5. All right, this was number 6. The last of the honorable mentions. But Star Wars: The Last Jedi, man. When I was driving home, and what's hit me, I was thinking of it, and that scene, spoilers, when Luke died, when he became one with the Force, I was like, you know what? That hit me harder than anything in Dunkirk. Yeah, and I mean, that was one of the, and a lot of people don't like it. They don't understand. It's different. But I, for one, love the way that Rian Johnson took Star Wars and turned it upside down and said, you know what? You're used to this and you're used to that. Well, let's change it out because it's you know, it can become monotonous and just keep having the same stuff. So I liked everything he did. If you saw my review on my channel, you know I like the movie. Snoke dying, the back-to-back lightsaber scene. But that was the deciding factor in flipping me, was when I said Luke, I was like, nah, man. That hit me harder than anything in Dunkirk, no matter how good that movie was. And I'm looking forward to episode 9, but this one was number 5 for me on my list. Barely made it in there, but it did. And plus, I also kind of felt like, damn, a Star Wars movie came out this year and it's not on my top 5. You know what I mean? But still, it had an impact, man. So that's my top 5, my number 5.
All right. My number 5 is Get Out.
Ooh.
I almost forgot it because I watched it earlier in the year.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I was going back through looking at movies. I was like, oh, that's got to be in there.
Yeah.
Because I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
Like you think you know what's going on. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah, no idea.
And like I like how it plays on like racial tensions, stereotypes, like everything. Like Jordan Peele wanted you to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
And
you were.
You were.
Yeah.
But for the right reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
And just like from the top down, like everybody in that movie like delivered a AAA performance.
Yeah.
And that one almost got edged out by Mother because they're in the same kind of boat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
I'm looking forward to what Jordan Peele has next. I mean, they haven't announced anything.
I don't know how do you come out with that as your first movie?
Yeah, man. How do you? They were talking about him doing Akira, man, live action, but I hadn't heard anything else about it besides that first time. So that's your number 5, man.
Number 5.
Oh man, phone locked up. All right, so my number 4. This one until a couple nights ago was at number 3. But it slid back a spot because of number 3. But anyway, I usually don't watch movies like this. Creepy stuff, scary stuff. I don't mess with them at all. Yeah. So it is my number 4 movie. And because I remember I probably would have seen it on down the line, but not opening weekend. And my wife was like, no, you going to see it. We're going to see it. And I was trying to make excuses, football games. And she was like, nah, we'll go to an early one. So I went. And I fucking loved it. Like, this movie was amazing. I liked it better than the original that came out.
Oh my god.
Yeah. that one was good in its own right, but not like this. But yeah, it was creepy, but not too much for me. You know what I'm saying? And the way they did it was great. It wasn't too scary. It had like a Super 8 or like a Goonies type feel to it, just because of the score, the music.
Yes.
Not like a scary movie and stuff. Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise knocked it out of the park.
I'm not even scared of clowns, and he's scared of me.
Yeah. When you see him out of the makeup and he does the face, man, you want to punch him right in his face. Terrifying and awesome. Like I said, I don't mess with movies like this that much, but this one I've seen it several times since it came out in the movie. It was a great movie. Stephen King even he was tweeting about it every time he went and saw it for like the first 10 days after it came out. He liked it better than the original one. But the highlight of the movie to me was the young cast, the kids that. If they hadn't picked them the way they did, the movie wouldn't have worked at all.
No.
It would have took you right out of it.
Yeah.
But awesome humor. Had a lot of funny spots in there, man. Look. Look at that motherfucker. He's leaking out hamburger helper. That movie was great. That's my number 4. Like I said, it was number 3, but it got pushed back a spot, man. What you got?
All right, my number 4 is The Last Jedi.
Oh.
I struggled with where to put this one on my list because I love the movie. It was not my movie of the year.
Yeah.
But like you said, there's some funny scenes which some people didn't really like.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah.
But they're balanced out by some of the most iconic scenes that have happened in ages in Star Wars.
Yoda, man.
Yoda showing up, and not like prequels Yoda.
Yeah, not CG Yoda.
Return of the Jedi Yoda.
Yeah.
Showing up, and like old crotchety Luke. I loved his progression and his like coming around to understanding the Force.
Yeah. Yeah, because he had left it for a little bit, and he came back, and boy, did he come back.
The scene in Snoke's throne room when Kylo Ren and Rey go back to back, I was like, if you say you know what was going to happen, you're a liar.
Yeah, nobody knew that, and it was like legit. You saw him doing a little hand thing, and it went into slow motion for just that little piece till they got back to back, and then it just
And that's what I loved about it, and what the people that are hating, I'm like, oh, it's not. I liked that I didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
I liked that Rian Johnson took it and said, you know what? I'm making my own Star Wars movie.
Right off the bat too, right when Luke throw that's right the moment you knew you don't know what's gonna happen because he threw it over the shoulder and you know I'm not too good on I laughed at the scene, but you know on my review I talked about how big the emotional buildup was to get there.
Absolutely.
At the end of the Force Awakens, and then all of a sudden last day just it wasn't nothing really.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Luke, who like you loved Han growing up.
Yeah.
But you wanted to
You
be,
wanted to be Luke.
You
yeah.
wanted to be Luke.
Yeah.
And just seeing his story come full circle, put it in my top 5.
Yeah, yeah. That whew, The Last Jedi, man. All right, man.
That's a popcorn salt.
Yeah.
Got my eyes at the end of that movie.
All right, so that's gonna lead me to my number 3 movie, man. This one, you just watched it recently as well, and Logan is my number 3. And when I watched it for the last time the other night, that's what pushed it past it was that scene at the end, especially when I thought about what happened in that movie, The Wolverine, same director, where the chick, I can't remember her name, but she's like, I had a vision of you dying, covered in blood with your heart in your hands. And that's exactly how he went out, man. And I was like, ugh. Yeah, great story. Very brutal and real. I mean, those fight scenes, everything, it's the way you've always wanted to see Wolverine.
Yes.
And the newcomer, Daphne King, man, she is amazing. And I'm wondering, like, is that little girl gonna have like life problems later on for them making her do some of that? Because I mean, she was ferocious.
Yeah.
Ferocious.
It's like unleashing a feral beast with
Yeah.
claws.
I would like to see an Oscar nod for Patrick Stewart for his final performance of Professor X. He was great.
Yeah.
The movie doesn't work without him.
Nope.
Eric LaSalle, man, from ER.
Yeah.
when the credits were rolling, I saw his name. He's one of the last names. I was like, Eric LaSalle. Hugh Jackman was epic. There's not really a flaw I could find in this movie from start to finish. I mean, from the time he is in the back seat of that limo until X-23, until Laura turns the cross sideways, that it was just phenomenal. I've even seen the black and white version. They didn't need to make a black and white version because the movie's already that good, but I don't know how, but it added to it. So number 3 for me, man, was Logan.
All right. Number 3 for me was It. So it was up a little higher on my list.
Yeah.
Lifelong Stephen King fan.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of seeing his work just get trashed.
Yeah.
Like we already saw The Dark Tower this year,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't that great. So, like I'm tired of Hollywood really just stomping on some of my favorite franchises. So
Yeah.
I was thrilled to see that before it even came out, when Stephen King said he saw it.
Yeah, and it was.
I was like, okay, all right, well,
Yeah,
maybe.
His seal of approval.
But what I loved about it the most was the young cast
Mm-hmm.
and how much it was a throwback to the movies we grew up watching.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because nobody's been really able to nail that
Mm-mm.
these days. Like you don't get that '80s movie feel.
Yeah, yeah. I think the closest to get there is probably Stranger Things.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love the creative decision to change the setting to the '80s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Instead of doing it modernly.
It worked.
That's one of the things I love because they were able to update the movie but still keep it in 1988. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, the movie was long.
Yeah.
But I was ready to go right into the next.
Yeah, I can't wait, man.
I was ready for the next.
Shoot, they haven't even announced. All you see is these fan castings. They haven't even announced, man,
Right.
who's gonna take these.
Well,
Some of the fan castings are pretty good though. Look them up online. Check out fan castings for the sequel to It. You'll see some pretty good ones.
But yep, that was my number 3.
All right. Oh, we're getting down there. We're getting close. All right, man. For my number 2, is Wonder Woman. All right. So for me, comic book fan for life. This movie, we saw her a little bit in Batman vs Superman. She was badass.
Yeah.
Didn't really do much.
Had one of the best scenes in the
Oh
movie.
yeah, that it probably was the best. But I'm telling you, man, seeing her in her own film, like, and Gal, she's pretty much like America's sweetheart. Like, you know, it changes from time. But for right now, I'd say she is. Seeing her up there iconically, especially in that no man's land scene when she steps on that battlefield.
That was the best scene.
Yeah, it was, and I just can't. It's hard for me to describe it. How much that meant for me, reading about her and seeing her in comic books for years and years and years, and finally getting to see her realized the way she should be realized on screen. Patty Jenkins, the director, kudos to her. She did a phenomenal job. But yeah, this movie, it hit me with in all the right places when it comes to, like, you know, shit that I like to read. Look, this shit is right there. Like, you know what I'm saying? So when you actually see that, it's like loving a band or a group or whatever for your life, and you finally get to see them perform live in concert, and it's exactly how you imagined it. That's why, man, for me. Chris Pine, the movie doesn't work without him, though. Without him playing Steve Trevor, the movie wouldn't work. To me, it wouldn't anyway. Everything all around. Etta Candy, all the performances in the movie were great. Wonder Woman was just, it did it all for me, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but it didn't quite hit me the way my number one did, but it did it all for me, man. So number two for me, Wonder Woman.
All right, my number two, Logan. It was funny because I was watching it on my laptop, and my wife was watching something on the TV, but I told her she was totally watching.
Yeah.
What was going on. And when the movie ends, and X-23 takes that cross and leans it over to make an X, I was like, and then the end credits start rolling, and Johnny Cash starts playing. Bonnie looks over, and she goes like, "Are you okay?"
For real, man.
And I was like, I can't talk about it right now.
That's the way it made, when we saw it in the movie theater, the opening night, dude, like, after when it went off, you just sat there for a couple seconds. You couldn't, yeah.
Well, for me, impact-wise, I was all about the X-Men growing up.
Yeah.
Like, I loved them.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, the movie, symbolically, as well, just was almost kind of like, kids these days don't read comic books the same way we do.
No.
So the only way they're getting these things is through the movies.
Yeah.
For the most part, in video games.
Mm-hmm.
It was like almost it was like a part of my childhood died.
Yeah.
On the screen.
Yeah, and Hugh Jackman been doing that for 17 years.
Yeah.
He is Wolverine. The first time somebody else puts those claws on in a movie, we're gonna be like, what the?
Yeah.
No matter how good they are.
And Patrick Stewart, in the same boat.
Yeah, 17 years.
When he died, especially too when he thinks he's talking to Logan. It's rough. It's rough.
Yeah.
But in the absence of Christopher Nolan making, the Batman movies.
Yeah, the Dark Knight trilogy.
Logan to me was like on that same level of just emotional punch and just visually. It was the perfect swan song for
Hugh Jackman.
For Hugh Jackman.
And I mean, when she rolled that head out there, and he was like, "There's all right now." And she was.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, she's about to fuck," and she did too, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, Hugh Jackman, for 17 years.
Yes.
And Patrick Stewart, because they started at the same time, man.
Did.
All right, here we go. Number one. Play drum roll. Dude, number one for me. First, I give you. When I saw the first one years ago, how many years come out? 5? I don't know. Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I wasn't expecting much. It looked like it'd be good, but my son wanted to see it, and his little brother wanted to see it, so I took him to see it. I walked out of the movie theater like, wow. I was not expecting that. And I was actually, up at that point, they hadn't, because we saw it opening weekend, they hadn't announced a sequel yet, waiting to see how much money it would make. So I was like, I'd like to see more of that. And then Dawn, I think I saw Dawn at the top of one of your lists the year it came out.
Yeah.
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. My number one is War for the Planet of the Apes. Dawn was better to me, but it didn't come out this year. So But Dawn hit me in all the right spots, and I couldn't wait for the third one. This movie was just epic to me on all fronts. It just hit all the spots. People were complaining about the way Caesar went out, and I'm like, dude, Caesar made it all the way till he saw his his apes get to a peaceful place, and then he died. I mean, would you want to see him get blown to pieces? It was perfect, man. Andy Serkis deserves all kinds of Oscar nominations for that.
Won't get them.
Yeah, the bad ape had brought the perfect pieces of humor to the movie.
Yeah.
None of the jokes seemed forced. That escape scene when the apes are like coming across the top of the power lines. I mean, everything about the movie. And people say, well, there wasn't even a war. Well,
it's a war for life.
Basically, yeah, but there wasn't. People expected to see this big, huge battle between humans and apes. There was a little bit at the beginning, but I thought the bigger war was between Caesar and himself, trying not to become Cobra, because he almost he wanted revenge. Yeah, he wanted revenge so bad. So man, to me, this one of my favorite trilogies of all time. One day we're gonna do a show where we have best trilogies.
Well, and it's funny because it totally one-ups the original movie.
Oh yeah, it does, man. And as a matter of fact, I was looking back at it. There's so many of those. Some of those are just straight trash, man. But these, on so many levels, War of the Planet of the Apes was my favorite movie of the year, and it kind of went back and forth with Wonder Woman just because of how iconic that movie was to me. But at the end of the day, the last time I watched it, which was earlier this week, I said, man, this is just great film. Great film. So my number one, War for the Planet of the Apes, man.
All right. My number one is Dunkirk.
Oh.
And the reason it hit number one for me is, A, I love war movies.
Yeah.
I love Christopher Nolan. But this movie, it was almost like it wasn't a movie. It's like
you were standing there.
You were there.
Yeah.
You were a fly on the wall. It was like that beginning scene from Saving Private Ryan.
Oh man.
So that's not film. Like, they're putting you on the beach.
Yeah, exactly.
This whole movie felt that way, but it also felt, it was like a mix, like Thin Red Line, like the kind of like the mental part of it, and then you get like the Saving Private Ryan thing, and then you kind of get a little bit of the Apocalypse Now, and like all these inspirations.
Yeah.
But instead of layering his film with exposition and people talking, he let the movie itself tell the story.
Yeah.
Without, all the dialogue, and I thought it was a masterpiece.
Yeah. Like I said, it almost made it, man. And we were talking about that one thing in the movie where like they all seem so calm. Like everybody in the movie, there's a couple panicking that one dude when they're on the boat on the beach. Yeah. Like, and he's like flipping out, but for the most part, especially the dude trying to use the bathroom at the beginning, and he can't, but he just calmly shots ring out, pulled his pants up, and ran. Yeah, the dude almost made it in there, man.
See, and to me, that's like, why are they so calm?
Yeah.
Because they have been in this for so long. Well, they're on the coast of France.
Yeah.
They've been pushed
all the way.
Almost to the point where they're like in the water, and instead of driving it, like the Germans are just target practice. They're just having fun with them.
Yep.
Yeah, just like the sound, like torpedoes going through the air. I mean, through the water.
Oh yeah.
Like just hear it's like, oh, the depth charges. It's like from the beginning till the end of the movie, I was on the edge of my seat. Even though, like, if you've done any kind of research, like, you kind of know, like, obviously.
Yeah. Oh, that I was on the edge.
300, 400,000 people didn't die on the beach there.
Yeah.
So what happens didn't matter.
Yeah, and that literally for the last 30 minutes of that one, I was leaning forward in my chair because I didn't know, you know what I mean? You know what you didn't know. So, yeah, it almost made my list, man. So that was the number one.
Well, see, War of the Planet of the Apes, again, I watched that again last night. It's a fantastic movie. Probably be in my top 10.
Yeah, I feel you, man. Yeah, that's and I don't even know if they're going to come out with more. I heard they might be some more Planet of the Apes movies without Caesar because he's dead. But
just that scene where Caesar is looking up and he looks down and his family's dead.
Yeah.
And the colonel is just like,
like
if you could feel the weight, just like,
yeah.
And like you said, like the thing with Kobe is like,
he almost turned into him.
He almost turned into him.
Yeah, and another thing with war, man. Oh shit, I forgot already. There's something else in there I wanted to say. Can't remember. Fantastic movie. Great lists all around though, man. Like I said, I wish I could have seen more of the movies, especially like.
Yeah, see, I didn't see Spider-Man: Homecoming, so I wasn't able to speak on that.
Yeah,
one.
I like that movie.
Kong almost made my list.
Oh yeah, man, I forgot about Kong, man.
Really enjoyed
It's,
that one.
you know, it's really hard. And the thing is, you know, like the dudes at like Colliders who I watch a lot, those dudes get paid to watch movies. Like that's what they do for a living. I wish if we could do that, we would have seen everything this year, and we would have this top notch. Like our lists are top notch. I don't even care. As a matter of fact, I don't know if anything could have took war, or especially Wonder Woman for me.
I totally forgot about Wonder Woman.
For real, man.
It was so early in the year.
Yeah,
and I loved that movie.
Yeah. But yeah, man, great list. Also, I want to give a special shout out to people who went to the movies with me this year. Actually sat down. I know we went. Shin Godzilla was this year, right? Yeah, it was. It was early this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did not make my list.
you ain't lying. But yeah, Chris went with us then. My boy PJ that went to the movies with me just about every time. My wife, my son. Just, you know, I like going to the movies with people. It makes the experience that much better.
It does.
So if y'all got any other movies that we missed, keep in mind we didn't see them all. You know, drop them in the comments. You know, if you like this video, like it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm right at 950. Still trying to get that 1,000. Hopefully early next year. Yeah, post in the comments, man. Anything you want to say about it. Where can people get in touch with you?
At Echosynthetic on Twitter, echosynthetic.com website, and Echosynthetic on Facebook. I'm very active.
That he is. You can find me, Instagram, Twitter, all those things, at 2279ACS. So this was great year of movies. We look back on it. I think the list were all around. We've been looking forward to doing this for for months and months and months, and finally, here it is. So until next time. Oh, and by the way, I'm working on some things, man. A special Star Wars conversation sometime middle of next year. Maybe trying to do a little weekly thing for next year. But I'd like to thank everybody who's supported me so far this year. I started in like April or May, and the ball kept rolling. People were liking my stuff, subscribing and everything like that. So I'd like to thank y'all for the support. Hopefully 2018 will be a better year. Put out more content. And anything else you want to say?
Appreciate it.
All right, until next time, ACS Universe out.
Run, 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 run.